Hey there, it's Mitzi. Welcome to my channel. Today I am sharing my 2022 reading goals and I am very excited about it. I am a planner. I love planning out my year. I love the blank calendar and the checklist. And I am a paper pencil kind of person, so I like to physically write those things out and check them off. It's just fun for me. And so at the end of the year, I always evaluate what I've read and look to the next year, all of those fun things, all the charts and fun things that you do. So I do enjoy doing that. And so I'm going to share some of those with you today. But I was watching Becca from Hickspick's book yesterday, and I thought her video was brilliant because she was talking about her goal was going to be to read what she gets to read, not what she has to read. And I think that we all need to keep that in mind, because if we're readers, we love books, but we want to read what we want to read, and we want to read for enjoyment. So I hope that all of us will keep that in mind as we set these goals for the year. Of course, we want to try new things and new authors and maybe some classics that might be a challenge for us. Those are fun things to do, and we can all, because I know myself, I've discovered some wonderful books, some favorite books, when I've challenged myself to just try new things. And I've done that this past year. But I also want to remember that this is for fun. And so the books that I choose are going to be things that I want to read, not that I have to read. So thank you, Becca, for reminding us of that as we start the new year. So for me, I have some modern classics that I want to read. I have some older classics and some author spotlights. And that is going to be my main goal. And of course, what we all try to do as book readers and book collectors is to read from our shelves. I think we all need to be reading some of those books we already have. First of all, to save us some money, because we do gets a little pricey when we collect all these books. But also because they're there and we need to read them and enjoy them, because I'm sure there are great books right now on all of our shelves that are waiting to be discovered. And so I hope that we all do that this year. So those are my plans. I don't have too many major goals. I'm going to try to keep in mind some of those authors that I want to spotlight and those things. And I do have some read-alongs and readathons I want to participate in too. So the first one, speaking of read-alongs and reading challenges, is the Agatha Christie challenge. I started this at the end of last year to read one Agatha Christie a month, and I have been successful at that because I'm enjoying it. Again, it's the get to. I love these Agatha Christie books, and I can't wait every month to read a new one. So what I did was, last year I had noticed that they had a challenge on their website, on the Agatha Christie official website, and each month they would choose a book. They'd have a prompt, and you had a book to go along with that prompt. And so I subscribed to it so that I could participate this year. And they give you a book, a prompt for that book, but there's other books that you can choose as well. But it happened to be this month was, someone find it, The Man in the Brown Suit. And I had already picked this up for January. So I thought, okay, well, I'm already reading that one anyway. So that was perfect. And this is, I think this is a standalone, because I'm trying to go through the standalones first. And so that's the book I'm going to read for the Read Christie 2022 Reading Challenge. If you're interested in that, just go to the agathachristie.com site, and you can subscribe to their newsletter, and you'll get a printout of the challenges for the year. And that's going to be for the Agatha Christie challenge that I'd already started last year, and I'm sure that's going to be lots of fun. Another well, it's not a challenge, but it's a group that I have joined, is Kate Howe's Kindred Spirits Club. And every month she's going to have just some things for us to do, books to read. I think every other month we'll read a book, but we'll have Zoom discussions and things throughout the year. And I just thought it would be a lot of fun to join others as we discuss our books and things together. And so for January, our read is going to be Emily of Deep Valley by Hart Lovelace. Now, I know she wrote the Betsy Tacy series, and I haven't read the Betsy Tacy series. I know it's super popular with booktubers, and I am interested in reading it. So I thought this would actually be, this is a standalone, and so I thought this would be a good one to just see if I like her writing style. And as we discuss the book, I'm sure other people will bring up Betsy Tacy, and I can discover this writer and see if I like her. And if I do, I'll pick up that series. So I'm excited about the new Kindred Spirits Club. And then my classic, I'm going to try to read, 8 to 10 classics. I've already mentioned my modern classics, and I have some older classics I want to read too. And this is an older classic, and this is Vanity Fair. Now, I've mentioned this one before in a book haul when I picked this up at an estate sale. And so it's just been sitting on my shelf, and I need to get to it. But I'm really, I'm mainly reading it in January, because in February I'm going to read Gone with the Wind. And Gone with the Wind is supposed to be a retelling of this story. And so that's why I wanted to make sure I get to it in January, so I'll be prepared for my Gone with the Wind read in February. Now, I know this story. I've seen the movie adaptation, several versions of that. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the story. I don't know, I haven't heard the greatest things, to be honest, from booktubers that have read it. But I want to see for myself. And so I'm going to read this, and especially because Gone with the Wind is coming up next. So I'm going to read this one. I'm also going to be buddy reading a couple of books. I mentioned in a previous video that I'm buddy reading with my son the Chronicles of Narnia this year, and we are going to start with, of course, The Magician's Nephew, and we're going to read this one for January, and this will be a reread for both of us, so we're going to read that one. And then I also am buddy reading The Blue Castle by L.M. Montgomery, and this book has been on my shelf for a really long time. I've had this book. Isn't it beautiful? I love that cover. But I've had this for a very long time, and so I need to get to it. And so Becca from Hicks Picks Books mentioned that she wanted to read it, so I said, well, let's buddy read that, and she agreed. And so we're going to read this one the second half of January, so I can get that one read off my shelf too. So I'm excited about that. I also have been working through, just slowly, not in a hurry about it, but the Newbery award winners. I love the Newbery award winners. There's some beautiful books in those award list. If you like middle grade books, because that's what they are, they're children's literature. And the one I've chosen that again has been on my shelf is Miracles on Maple Hill by Virginia Sorensen. And that just looked like a cozy, wintry read. I don't know if it is, but it looks like it is. And so I chose this one for a Newbery book. And then I'm also, last year I had noticed that a lot of people were participating in the Read Your Bookshelf challenge that Chantel does at Chantel Reads All Day, and I had not joined in that, and I didn't know about it till halfway through the year. So I thought I'm going to try that one too, because I think, again, reading our bookshelf is always a plus. So I went over and I found a printout of the prompts, and I'll leave a link to that, so you can, if you want to read from your bookshelf, you can do it too. But Chantel gives us little prompts, and so for January it's the word quiet. So you want to find quiet in the title, or a word that means quiet. And so for this one I chose The Great Alone by Kristin Hannah, because I mean, you can't get more quiet than alone. So I thought that would work for that reading challenge, the prompt for that challenge. And I'm hoping to stick with this challenge because it'll be fun to read through books on my bookshelf. And this book was gifted to me by my son 2 or 3 Christmases ago. I can't remember exactly, but it's been on my shelf for a while, and I really need to get to this one. And it also just feels like, I think it's set in Alaska, so it just feels like it would be a good winter read. So I'm going to read that one. And then I don't mention this too much on my channel, but in the mornings I always start my day with Bible reading, and I also, after I do my Bible reading, I will try to read some sort of biblical nonfiction that kind of coincides with just where I am in life, and it's just something encouraging and something to learn from. So I mentioned in another video that I normally read the New King James Version for my read through the Bible, but this year I've decided to try a couple of other translations. And so the first read through, I've decided that I'm going to read the English Standard Version, and I've chosen to read it from this particular edition, which is the Story of Redemption Bible. And it is just one gorgeous Bible. Now, my son gave me this several birthdays ago, and unfortunately it's just been sitting on my shelf. I've looked through it, but I've not studied with this Bible, so I thought this would be a good one to do. And I love the way this is set up because it has in it some extras. There's actually this timeline at the back that's beautiful too. I don't know if you can see that. And then there's a reading plan if you want to use that reading plan. And then each book of the Bible has a word picture. And I just thought that was really neat too. And it's kind of like, I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of like just basically the main themes of those books and those kind of things. So it's a little word picture, and I like that about it too. So I'm excited to dig into this one for my Read Through the Bible for the English Standard Version translation, because it will be a different translation than what I normally read. And then for my nonfiction, my biblical nonfiction book, I am going through AW Tozer's The Crucified Life. Now, one of my favorite books is The Pursuit of God. It is super slim, and if you've never read it, it's a great one. I just love this, and I've read that many times. But I'd never picked up this one, so I've already started it, and it's not going to take me long because it's super short too. But I thought I would start my year with this one. So those are some of the books that I am planning on reading for January. Again, these are possibilities. I don't know if I'll get to all of them, but that's okay. That's just what I'm planning on reading for the month of January and the plans that I have for the year. What are you reading? Do you make reading goals? Do you make them for the year, for the month? Let me know in the comments, and let me know what you're reading right now. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.